always say, I'm always listening to you. Welcome back to the MPGN Live for another session of War for the Crown. Last time, the agents spent time discussing plans for how to deal with Guido Ita, the tax collector who was encamped at their estate. Nala was the chief planner and settled on returning to the estate and persuading Guido that Sepsinia would of his men to the Beggar Wood, where Nala paid a warrior called Krug to kill Guido. When Guido's men suspected foul play, combat broke out. One guard got away, but the other three were killed, including by From burning one of them, apparently at Angrad's instruction. Returning to their estate, they tried to bluff the remaining 6 guards, but failed. Combat again broke out. This time 3 guards were killed, and 3 managed to escape. And I think we rejoin in the immediate aftermath of that fight, somewhat close to dinner time after you have just beaten 3 of them and the other 3 have run off. What would you like to do? Or ask?
Or hang our heads in shame.
Don't be that guy, girl. Don't be that girl, Bob.
Well, what do we need to do? Well, we've.
From will just clean his sword and stuff, as he normally does.
Well, I mean, we discussed that there could be a problem given that one of them got away. What are going to be the repercussions from the count? Could we? I'd hate to say it, but can we track him down and make sure word doesn't get out? Hey?
So, Izzy, there are 3 that have just fled from your estate at the end of that combat. 3 guards.
Okay.
Obviously, they don't know what's happened to Guido, and then there's one who suspects it, who fled from the Beggar Wood at the first light this morning.
Suspect
in the combat.
Okay.
Well, you don't think any? I mean, Nala could possibly tell you otherwise, but it would seem like no one witnessed any of the actions. The ones in the Beggar Wood would have suspected things, but again, Humphrey was there trying to stop combat occurring, and then here you guys just tried to do a bluff, which they were immediately suspicious about, and that's when combat broke out, so they know even less.
So thoroughly confusing.
Yeah.
So I think you have, I mean, other than obviously going to sleep, given it's about dinner time, you I think have some other things you could potentially consider.
Yep.
You do notice that you have an invite to visit Baron Akera's estate, which must have arrived today. So the Baron is well known to some of you, who has been a sometime sponsor of Humphrey and was in the jousting tourney when you first arrived in the county. You know there are some issues with the Tellus barony, where the Baron there just doesn't seem to care anymore. And obviously, Dame Crab is expecting an invitation from you guys with respect to Sepsinia.
From asks Humphrey, do we think we should actually say, that all this weirdness that occurred with like being attacked and having to defend ourselves and his own men taking him out? Should we let him know, or should we actually go there? I refer to you as you would be the most familiar with politics.
Well, I mean, I answer to the local dame, so whatever she wants to do.
Yeah. And then that From turns around and sort of awaits her choice or thoughts.
Well, yes. I mean, given we would be able to report that the guy that ran off from the Beggar Wood, we saw him get possessed by a ghost and has gone completely insane. We should definitely report that immediately. that we understand the rest of them were killed by these creatures in the beggar wood, but we know that this guy became insane and ran off and could be saying anything.
Mm.
That's true. So where are you? You are. I mean, you're probably when I find it, at least a good day ride from Lothadar, the capital of the county. The beggar wood lies in the opposite direction, so sort of figuring out if someone was going directly there, it would take some time on foot. But you obviously have some horses. I mean, it's up to you whether you could leave now or you could spend the night here.
Do you think, though, that we should send a messenger instead of us going? Because I just worry that if they question us, we're going to fall apart like, because we're all going to be terrible at bluff. Whereas if we send a messenger, they're just going to report the message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. So, I mean, what's the message? That these guards have killed their master and taken off with his money?
Well, we don't really know. There was various creatures in this wood that killed
No,
the
no,
guards and
but
the tax collector.
I'm pretty sure the ones that got away killed their master.
Okay, cool. So
One of them,
sorry.
one of them came out of the woods carrying the body. I mean,
Mm.
There would certainly be a number of witnesses to that.
From's nodding,
we-
like From agrees, like that's what he legitimately thinks.
Well, that's
Yes.
true. None of you saw what Nala did. You only saw Nala go off with Guido.
yeah. So have them declared outlaw and send a message saying that these outlaws who killed them.
Okay, that sounds great. We'll do that.
Right, so you're going to arrange for a messenger to Lothadar and the Count, who's nearby. Guards killed Guido and have run off. Oops, I will be back in just a tick.
Do we need to let him know that we have the writ or whatever it was, and we will take over and manage that for him, or something?
Maybe we should send out a note saying we're imposing tariffs on any goods imported from out of our estate into our estate.
Oh.
Why don't we
And
say, okay,
we'd like to build a wall around our estate and we'd like the other people to pay for it.
Mm. Options.
but why don't we say that Guido was killed by his guards, and that we saw a bit of it, and we apparently killed the guards and have the writ, and we return the writ to the Baron.
Well, no. Well, we got half of the guards, but we don't want to return the writ because then he's just going to sell it to someone else.
Well, you can just make a brand new one.
Yeah. So how do we get around? Maybe we just say that they attacked him, but he's currently in hiding and we're looking after him. But he's still got the writ and will finish his duties, I don't know, some other time.
Mm. Options.
Yes, well, we could obviously keep the writ and go and collect the rest of the money and start up that line of business.
That's right up Humphrey's alley.
Yeah. How do we do that without the guy thinking that we've killed the tax guy though?
I think, as you say, like, we ended up with the writ. How are we And we're
We've
just
reco-
finishing off his duties for him because we feel bad he got killed in the wood by his men.
Yeah, yep. No, good plan. We've recovered it off one of the traders. Yeah.
So just to be clear, so Guido is dead or being held by you guys convalescing?
No, dead.
Dead,
Dead.
right? Killed by a guard.
Yep.
Okay, and the writ is
Recovered.
recovered.
So we're gonna fulfill the duties of the holder of the writ.
And all the guards that are left alive are traitors. Is that the case?
Yep.
Okay. Do you? And that would go in the morning via your messenger service.
Yes, so obviously we want to make sure we pay for it to be messengered at highest priority.
Well, I mean, typically, yes, that's true. You could pay some money. Well, you could suggest what money, but I mean, initially, you're going to go. So you're at the estate, which is close by the village, and it's dinner time. Are you going to go into the estate, go into the village now, or have dinner, sleep, and go in the morning?
So how far would how long would it take a rider to get into the city from the town?
Your town, obviously not far, but to get to Lothardar and then the Count's Palace is near that would be a day's ride.
I suppose the only thing I worry about is we obviously don't want that guard getting to the city and Count Lothazar before us. So maybe if we went into town tonight and set up with the messenger and even paid enough that if they want to set off straight away, the sooner it gets there, the better.
Fair enough. I mean, you are the Baroness.
But I also don't want to interrupt Knight Chester, who will be appearing shortly.
That's true.
It's the highlight of my day or night.
It's like being a lycanthrope, but even worse.
It's Knight Chester's.
He
highlight.
bays at the moon every night.
Yep, Morgana's moon.
I wonder if I had a room completely dark proofed and painted like the night, if I could just keep Knight Chester in it and keep him as Knight Chester.
Well, that's a good thought, but
That would be an interesting experiment.
yep.
So are you going into, is anyone going into town to get the ball rolling on the message?
I think we should, team. What do you reckon?
Happy to follow along.
Yep, following.
All right. So let's assume there's a messenger called Jamal. How much are you going to pay Jamal to deliver your message?
What's your normal price to deliver this, Jamal?
Well, if you want it done just during the day when I do all the normal stuff, a gold piece would really suffice. But if you want it to leave tonight, 10 gold.
So if I was going to give you this 20 gold here, then you would obviously get onto it straight away and give it your utmost attention.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, here you go then.
Okay, takes message. And then presumably you guys go back to the estate for dinner where the Knight Chester will appear.
Shazam!
Shazam, yeah. And then you can let me know if you're going to set watches or whether you're going to rely on the spirits.
The spirits are pretty thorough, aren't they?
Generally, that's true.
That at least let us know, probably.
Yep. Okay, so now can I guess that? In fact, I probably could go to the map that some of you don't all sleep in the same room, I guess, because of
No. Morgana and Nightchester do,
Yep.
yes.
only because Nightchester insists.
Oh yeah. Your fun bags are really good to sleep on.
Let me move you. Oh no, you're there. I have moved you onto your estate map, but that is only one floor. What's that one? First floor, second floor. So there is a number, and let me guess that Nightchester and Morgana are in the big bedroom, or the one that looks like it's got a big bed.
Well, I'm not very
And I'm just
big.
going to put the rest of you guys,
I don't take up much room.
stretch it out. Some. I'm going to gather dog bios near the hearth. Let's put Chester in, the other Chester in there just in case. All
Oh,
right.
you've got a
Well,
threesome.
overnight, let me, if you can. That's right. You can all make, that is Nightchester, not Daychester, all make perception checks.
That would be right there, wouldn't it?
Mhm. Well, that's incredible at this point. So, Morgana, you obviously feel that you've done your business, and Chester is happily snoring in the bed, and you notice
known snorer.
you notice a figure in the window, and you think it's been there for some time.
And they didn't pay.
And
You are peeping, Tom.
my name's not Tom, but I am peeping, and it has been very enjoyable. But what I'm more interested, and she has a female voice, what I'm more interested to know is, are you planning to kill all the nobles in this county, given your apparent alliance with the beggars?
I don't believe that we were planning wholesale slaughter of anyone who could be useful to us at a future point in time.
Useful? What could be possibly useful about these nobles? I know you're just a trumped up one. No one would behave in such a manner who was really a noble. These,
Well, even if I was a trumped up one, as you say, you never know what use people will have in any station for you at a future time, and it would be unwise to be rid of them and draw undue attention to this area when we may need attention focused elsewhere.
your friend there is very, very, very tired. Obviously, exerted himself quite a bit.
My friend is dead tired.
Not in the bum, Morgana.
But she says, I have a number of resources, and I think it's time to bring this whole charade of nobles down. I am here to help if you are prepared to start executing some of the nobles, but obviously I aim to thwart you if you intend to take out the common folk. I note you have already potentially killed the tax collector and are seeking to frame the guards. It's exactly what I would have done too, to sow discontent and remove this unfair taxation from our lands.
Yes, but look, obviously there's ways to remove unjust systems such as that without drawing as much attention onto us as we would do if we just started going around getting rid of all of the nobles willy-nilly. But I'm certainly happy to listen to any plans you may have, because obviously we all agree that generally working folk are of more use around the place than these bloody nobles.
Well, I know you're about to see Baron Akura. That old fool. He all he thinks about is these jousting. And I mean, what an elite sport that is. It even seems to have infected your jousting knight in the other room, who is getting caught up in all this nobility. It'll rub off. We can't have this. I'm happy if
you see the benefit of jousting? These nobles could knock each other off each other's horses and break their neck, and no one could be at fault for such a thing.
One can only hope so. Yes, that sounds a good plan. But I hear you're invited to Baron Akura's soon. I urge you to assassinate him while you can, and lay the blame on his own guards, as you did with Guido.
Look, we are certainly happy to look into that, but has Baron Akura done anything? I mean, apart from being some sort of weird jousting dude, has he actually done anything that unduly affects the populace that would give us cause to...
He's a noble. Nobles themselves are a burden on the rest of the people. They should be eliminated.
Are you suggesting we start an autonomous collective?
Yes. Kill the nobles. And with that, she seems to send a paper plane over near a wall, followed by a dagger that sticks it to the wall.
Oh.
And with incredible grace, floats out, literally not quite floats, but moves with incredible grace out the window, almost as if she steps on air itself.
Would you be able to tell me how to contact you in the future before you leave?
And as you say that, you realise in a blink of an eye she's gone, and all that's left is this note on the wall with a dagger sticking out of it.
Yes,
as long as it doesn't say death to Chester.
Yes, I'll come on your tits.
Go and check out what the note
I'm
says.
so glad this is recorded.
This is why it's hard to get women into gaming, Michael.
Is it?
So what does the note say?
Yeah, I've got to. I will shortly find that. It is
flustered.
number 5. No, not that. Number 5 is not it. Why are you not there? Why?
They just killed John Wick's dead. John Wick's dog. It's not a good sign for the future longevity of these chaps.
You're watching the first John
Future
Wick?
longevity.
Yeah, because the
now I
others
know
after it were shit.
I liked
The
them.
first one was really good, though.
Ash is normally the person you ask about this stuff.
They just got worse after the first.
Not by much, though.
The second one was disappointing because it had that Australian chick as the bad guy, but when he finally met her, he killed her in like 2 blows or something. I was like, well, that was a waste of time.
Because he's John Wick. That's her. He kills anyone in seconds.
Yes, and I am just searching for the right pin thing that will give me the handout I need to give you, but unfortunately, it is escaping
Don't
me.
you hate that? It's always the thing that you know is there that you saw this afternoon that you can never find.
Yeah, I mean, there's pins for basically every other thing that happens at the estate. Maybe it's on this map.
Yes, Morgana, you're going to be a
No.
great mum.
No.
Now suck my cock.
I'm just. Jesus.
Just filling in dead air. That's all I'm
No.
trying to do.
Thanks, Michael. That sounds. I think that's good. That's exactly what would happen as well.
Exactly.
You certainly note that you note that inside the note pinned to the wall is a black feather, which you would know is the calling card of the night swan, who had left a similar thing when the poison crossbow trap was detected by Izzy.
Damn right.
When the Count did one of the nights before the dinner at the tourney. So that is certainly one thing that is inside the note, along with a throwing dagger. But the other is the handout. That Michael, if I was a handout, where would the handout be in FGU? What would it be under if there was another way I could find it? Story.
Images.
Oh, that's a good one. Of course, images. Images. I wonder whether it's even called handout. That would be even worse.
Well, most
Called
of them it
handout.
is.
Yeah. There you go. Well done.
Ooh.
Image. Handout. Clearly, she recognises you're not quite the nobles, but if you are, I think it would seem that she would see you as you're going to die as well.
It's an interesting. I just worry about, how the paladin will react if we suggest going on a mass slaughter of nobles who aren't necessarily insidiously evil. They may just be chaotic stupid or something.
Ambivalently evil.
Did you show that image to anyone else, Andrew?
Yeah, I sent it to everyone.
Oh, okay, good.
Which in theory, yeah,
obviously-
should have just been you.
No, that's fine. Because I will go and show the others, but not Chester because he's still asleep. He's tired.
All right, so you go and wake the others up, and you can let them know and tell them what you think you need to. I mean, obviously they've heard the discussion, but
Yes. So the night fox came, floated out my bedroom window, floated in the bedroom window, then out the bedroom window, and she says if we go and see this Baron who runs the tourney and kill him and frame it to make it look like his guards killed him, then she'll be very happy.
Oh.
And I feel that if we don't do that, then she's going to try to target us as well as all the nobles.
Wait, but we get along well with Baron Akura, don't we?
Well, look, getting on well is a different thing from is he good or bad, but yes, I wouldn't necessarily suggest going on a killing rampage of people who weren't bad.
I mean, he's corrupt. He did sell the tax collector guy with stuff, and they were going around overcharging people. So,
But I mean, is that just a normal sort of thing that nobles do? I mean, I don't mind. If the rest of you think he's evil and we have to kill him, then I'm happy too, because I'm fairly neutral about these things.
I mean, what's best for the people, though? It's best for the people that we remove him. Is that what we're?
Well, the Night Swan certainly thinks that would be the case. Though whether
But
that's a
Baron Akura, though, and I can't remember, Baron Akura is in charge of a barony and has supported you, Humphrey, with jousting in the past. Count Lotheed is in charge of the whole county, which includes the baronies. And he's the one who arranges the tax collectors.
Oh, so who are we killing? Or maybe killing?
Baron Akura.
I think the
Yeah, so I mean I don't want to knock him off. He just seemed like a confused old man.
And this was what I tried to tell the Night Swan, that if this is just some poor guy knocking other nobles off their horses, what's the harm in that? But she seemed to think he was insidiously evil.
Well, maybe we should go spend time with him, and if we find evidence of his taking advantage of the people, then we can think it through.
And that's fine. I think we just also need to be aware, though, that now we've been warned that if we're not seen as taking action in what she would regard as a timely manner, we may become targets ourselves. So we need to make sure that we are keeping a good lookout from that perspective.
Wait, so they're going to kill us?
Well, she wants to get rid of all the nobles, and I think we're either with her or against her, and if she doesn't think sufficiently that we're with her, then she'll think we're against her.
No, we don't truck with terrorism.
Yeah, you
But
can't
no.
avoid that.
Exactly.
I say to be safe, we kill the Night Song, we kill Akura, we kill the counts, everyone in the woods. Everyone in the woods.
She is
Let's
considered to be basically a terrorist of sorts, isn't she? Because
Correct.
they talked about her at the beginning during the ceremony. Basically said she's a bad person. Whether or not she is, and it's just politics, we don't know. But we definitely know that if we did decide to instead take the initiative and hunt her down and confront her, then we wouldn't be hindered by people in charge.
Although if that letter has their calling card picture or whatever on it, doesn't it?
Yep.
So, I mean, we could make one up that we leave on Akura's body if we were to kill him. Like, do it, but pin it on. Oh, well, let's just fucking do the easy thing then. Let's go over here. Kick a nearby chair over and I'll go sit down.
So this is sort of, at some point like 2 a.m. You could go back to sleep, or you can get a start. You know, Aaron has extended an offer to you to visit.
Yes, well, I think we'll go back to sleep for the rest of the night, because I don't think the night duck is going to come back and kill us tonight.
Well, hang on. Are any of us able to track? Have we figured that out?
Well, she was floating through the air. This is the thing I worry about, that must be reasonably hard to track.
I mean, can't you use vomit swarm of spiders after?
You would know that Nala seemed to have some skill, but
it was not great.
Yeah.
Yes, clerics are not renowned trackers or coup de graces.
Can you use magic to find them? To track them or whatever?
I need to look at what divining spells I could use.
Aren't you guys wizards or something? I don't understand all this magic.
In fact, the best tracker you might have would be Dogbio.
Can we get the guards to cordon off? Maybe how fast can someone fly?
Well, at the moment, it's just you guys at the estate. You guys and the spirits, basically, at the estate. Oh, that's not true. I can assume you've already attracted a few servants who would do some menial jobs and stay there.
I mean, how many people in this area could write? I mean, this has got to be someone educated at least.
It's a very good point.
No? Okay, I guess we just wait till the morning.
No, Frey, you would. I mean, I could get you to roll knowledge nobility, but you would think that would be an excellent point. That it is not likely to be a commoner.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Do we know any other nobles or educated people around here? How many are there? Thousands? 10?
There's certainly tens and tens, as would have turned up for the tourney. So yes,
well.
there is quite a number, and there would be those in neighbouring counties as well that might be considered.
Yeah, well, I guess we can wait till morning. What's your plan, Morgana? That we go visit in the morning to what's his
Well, I
name?
think
Or?
we go and visit this jousting count, because we can't really make a decision one way or the other until we've gone to hang out with him for a bit.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, cool.
New day.
Yes, back to bed, wake up in the morning.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Start with prayers to Angrod,
Yes.
as is the way.
Yes, we'll have breakfast while he's doing that.
Yep.
And then I think we're going to head off to Count, what's his name, to
Akura?
see him about the jousting.
Baron Occur. Yes.
Baron
Yes.
Acker.
So you would, what would you know about? You would certainly have heard rumours of a famous fish in the lake there, Penaris Lake, and this famous fish is known as the General, which would seem to be something that would be quite impressive or a fish that would be quite impressive to catch. But you arrive, you go through the fishing village of Pensurus, which is obviously right next to the lake where this fish is known to exist. It seems quite a prosperous and bustling village, perhaps second only to the capital, Lothidar itself. So it's obviously catches quite a bit, which generates its wealth. Though you can all make perception checks as you go through the village on the way to the Count's estate. So Izzy and From, you just get the vibes that people here aren't overly happy. There's a lot of sniping about harsh tax collection policies and why would the Baron do it? What's going on here? And I mean, you know that the Baron doesn't set the taxation policies, but the people seem to be blaming the closest noble to them. And so there seems to be a bit of discontent that you two have picked up going through this village.
Do you think we should do some more investigation before we head on to see the Baron?
We're here. Since we're wandering through, it wouldn't hurt.
From thinks that might be a good idea. He's a bit, he doesn't like hearing people being so openly not happy.
Yes, no taxation without representation.
Right.
Praise be.
Well, maybe some of the villagers overhear that and say, "Hey," and they seem to gravitate to you, Humphrey. They say, "Hey, weren't you the one who sent the High Strategos himself packing from the tourney? You're that champion jouster, aren't you, Lord Humphrey?"
Yep, that's who I am.
Yes. And so, they all get out their phones. They want to have selfies taken with you.
Yep. Just 30 gold a picture.
Well, that dry up very
People
rapidly. And then
who are currently complaining about being overtaxed. Yep.
Well, I mean, they have disposable income. They just don't want to dispose it in tax. That's all.
they say they're
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It doesn't cost money.
Joking.
drain interest. And they want to know who the next Calbio is.
Well, no, that's to be decided by lifelong tourney.
Well, we're happy to tune in for this Squire Viver and to see who ends up as the Calbio at the end. But yes, what brings you to our village?
I'm part of the entourage for the lady. Oh, sorry, Dame Morgana.
Oh, are they not in your direction, Dame Morgana? You must have a lot of clout if you've managed to secure the services of Sir Humphrey.
Oh, yes. Well, he's obviously very famous. Could we ask, just while you're here, what particular about the taxation that's upsetting you all?
Well, it's too much. We can't afford to pay it. I don't know. The tax collector, we had one here some time ago. What was his name? Guido Eater. I mean, it was absurd the amount of tax we had to pay. Certainly, it's become quite harsh. And I don't know what the Baron's doing, but he doesn't seem to be able to moderate. I presume this is all happening at the Baron's direction too.
Do you know anything? Because we understand the taxation comes from the Count. Are you aware of anything in particular the Baron has to do with it?
Well, he's our Baron. He should be taking this up to the Count. He should be defending us against this unfair and harsh taxation.
Yep, no, fair enough. Fair enough. We will be discussing this with the Baron because obviously we don't want regular people such as yourselves put to undue hardship.
Well, absolutely, yes. Take it up if you can change that. We'll be even happier. But it has to stop. We haven't got enough disposable income to pay for a selfie with the famous Sir Humphrey here.
Well, look, I'm sure that I could pay for a couple of them for you if you'd like.
Excellent, and maybe some treats for that dog of his as well.
How about you have a picture here with Chester as well? He's very obliging.
Who?
Chester lowered
Chester,
his
the
head.
most powerful mage in the whole world.
No, that's not bringing. No.
Chester steps.
No, but I mean, there's some guy out doing a few charcoal drawings, and he's already arranged for some. So, yes, no. Look, really, we sort of vaguely know Dame Morgana that you're new, and obviously everyone's heard of Sir Humphrey here, and the punishment he dealt out to many. Although he seemed to get on pretty well with our Baron in the jousting. If there's one thing our Baron does well, it's jousting. But he needs to stand up for the tax.
Yes, obviously it's very important to be taxed at an appropriate level.
But is there
and
anything
yes,
else?
we will discuss it with him.
Excellent. Well, what
Let
could
us.
I say?
Can we buy you all a round of drinks at the pub before we move on?
Oh, sure. You can. I mean, let's vaguely say that 10 gold should be able to suffice for everyone that's there.
Well, don't let it be said that Dame Morgana is not, a friendly landholder in the district.
Very
You
generous.
are.
I can see how you can have Sir Humphrey on your team.
Yes, Team Humphrey.
Team Humphrey.
Humphrey.
So I'll presume you then progress on to meet the Baron, who comes out to greet you. First off, acknowledges you, Dame Morgana, but then greets you, Sir Humphrey, very warmly. He normally forgets things, but he seems to have been G'd up to remember who you are, and talks horrible business that at the capital with Calbio. Glad to see you. You fought so well at the tourney.
Yeah, thank you, Baron. We've come to visit because I remember our conversations fondly, and I just wish to extend that hand of friendship.
Yes. Well, let's go in and have some cheese and cucumber sandwiches.
Sweet.
And he seems to look at his aide and who nods about it. He says, yes, I remember the conversations as well. Yes, they were good. Whatever they were about. Yes, remember them well. And so you sit down. He seems to go on about, the problems that the Night Swan may be causing. Seems to be he calls her a terrorist and saying, we need to, I don't know what Sir Guy Gazan is doing. We need to get out and get rid of this terrorist. We can't have someone like this causing uprisings or attempting to take out nobles.
The Night Swan, hey? And then I look at his attendant. What's the attendant look like?
The attendant is a male human.
That doesn't mean can't be the Night Swan.
Dun,
That
dun,
is
dun.
true. That is true. Very true. And it says we've got to stop this terrorism. I mean, the law must be up on. Surely we can't. Surely, Humphrey, you would support this. There's nothing that can't be resolved with a good old joust.
Well, yes, of course. As far as I'm aware, we've recently come into possession of a note written by the Night Swan, and we're currently considering how to best flush this creature into the light, as it were. Do you perhaps have any suggestions on where we could find samples of correspondence?
I know she leaves obviously a black feather as a calling card. I wasn't aware she'd written notes before here, but I'm happy to lend you some of my guards if it'll help.
Well, I was hoping that if you had correspondence with other people within, the county, kingdom, barony, etc., that we might be able to access some of them just to compare.
One of his aides disappears and does seem to come back with a very similar note. He said this was about a week ago. It was posted on my very door, but I wasn't aware of it until only just now. And it looks basically a similar note to what you've got. You would think.
A week, you say? Somebody capable of reading and writing who can freely travel between counties, and who was here a week ago and in Morgana's just last night.
It's crazy. We've got to stop this terrorist. Yes, I agree with you. As for those beggars in the beggar woods, they should be wiped out as well. This criminality just must be dealt with.
Do your guards keep records of people travelling to and from the barony, or
Records. Looks to his advisor. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of records kept. He says there's our guest book, which we'll obviously ask you to sign at the estate here.
Oh, yep, perfect. And on our way out, once we do end up heading back, I might just speak to your guards just to see if they remember anyone travelling recently.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough. Yes. So, did you wish to inspect the guest book now, or?
Oh, yeah. No, that would be good. Thank you.
Brought over to you, you would see effectively it lists every noble who was basically the tourney, except for the Count Bartleby Lougheed.
But most would sign when they leave, or
Yep.
cool. So, is a week ago when the tournament happened, or is it much longer than that?
I think it was probably about 2 weeks ago. at
Yeah.
least.
So if they got this note, well, can
A
you
week.
tell us from where in the guest book, basically from when you got the note to now?
Sure, you can see that the Baroness Adela Voynham visited around that time. That there was a merchant called Earl Yandar McCondis. There was someone, and I think you met them on the night, the Lady Lucrezia Marthine, who is a bard, and there was some that you definitely recognise more of, Lord Titus Lougheed Cassava, who was the braggart who was trying to cause you some problems in the tourney.
So Morgana, you said it was a woman?
It was. Well, it appeared to be, yes.
So there's the Baroness and this bard, I guess. Do you have a correspondence with? Oh, well, not even correspondence. I'll just check the guest book, the writing for the ones that are, because they would have filled in the guest book themselves, wouldn't they?
Sure, you can make a perception check.
I am not the best person to be doing this.
No, we can all have a look, can't we?
Yes, I can see why Humphrey said that.
I say somebody appears to have written in this book.
I'll say,
Give
what
us a
book?
look.
Yeah, what book?
So look.
So I mean, on that rolls the three there at the moment are Morgana and Izzy. I mean, you think it could be similar, but you probably are not expert enough to say categorically it's the same. It could be, both women look really, except for the Baroness's is probably a little bit more spidery. But out of the two of them, it would be less likely to be the Baroness, but you couldn't say that completely. And in fact, it even looks a bit like the Earl's handwriting.
Well, I'm thinking this bard looks more and more suspicious. But enough of that. Let's enjoy our time with Baron Akura. Put on my party pants.
He says the other thing to note is it seems that Baron Tellus has just simply stopped worrying about his lands. I don't know what he's doing over there, but he's to the west of the Beggar Wood, so southwest of your lands, and I mean I just don't know what he's doing.
Well, hang on a sec. If we're worried that this night song is trying to off nobles, then should we be worried that Tellus has maybe already succumbed?
Well, gee, I hope not. I mean, I assume he's still alive, but he just, it doesn't seem to have the same care of his barony that the rest of us do.
Maybe he's being blackmailed or threatened in some way.
that's certainly possible.
We
And
check.
Baron, what can you tell us about the tax collector that's been here recently?
Oh, he shakes his head. He says, "Look, I follow the law as laid down by the Count, as we all should, but it is such a burden on my people. But it was my guys checked it. This Guido turned up with an official writ. It was very clear that the Count had given this person the legal authority to collect the tax." But it has been very heavy. I am struggling, and I know my people are. So I don't know what to do. I can't get an audience with the Count on this matter.
Why can't you get one with him? Have you tried and he's refused?
Well, I wrote to him, and he just wrote back and said, talk to his tax collector. He seemed to leave it up to the tax collector to make a decision. But I mean, I know I should, but I guess I haven't done it as yet. There's a lot of other things to sort of do.
It's no. It's all good. It's just when we came through town, we realised that it seems that some of the people in town seem to hold you personally responsible. That maybe don't realise that your hands are tied by the Count's actions.
Well, that's
maybe we could see if we can speak to the Count about it as well.
Well, that's yes, I think Dame Morgana, maybe if we all did. I mean, perhaps if you can find out what's happening to Baron Tellus, maybe all of us can make representation. I haven't spoken to the others, but I certainly know mine's been fairly heavily hit. I really don't know whether he's used the same tax collector in other areas, and maybe they've charged a different amount, and others aren't as badly off as we have been here in my barony.
Well, that has yes, your information has been very useful. Thank you.
Yes.
We will certainly go and check out Baron Tellus's situation straight away.
I must also offer some congratulations. I have had some correspondence from Dame Crab, and I must say, Sir Nala, that it seems like you've captured the eye of her daughter Sepsinia, and I hear that it's the potential marriage ceremony is progressing. In fact, Sir From here, I understand, is the chief organizer of it. So my congratulations on such a successful matchup.
From bows. Doesn't say anything. Just bows.
I bow and edge away as I'm bowing.
Baron, do you know anything about Baronet Naught?
He knows naught.
Baronet Naught. Now, you may even have to refresh my memory on who
I
Baronet...
understand she got stirred up by a witch and destroyed some golden bridge or something.
The Gold Canyon. No, that might be more of close to, what's happening on the Tellus estate or somewhere, or the Voynham barony somewhere. I mean, it's certainly not my barony, if it's the Gold Canyon or the bridge that was there. I mean, I know there was a bridge, but anyway, somewhere over there, not in my thing. I'm really primarily interested in jousting. I think if you can joust well, you can do anything well in life, really.
Fair enough.
Yes, but please, I'm happy to get any of my guards to help you capture this night swan. Let me know. Chester Copperfield, given your back, do you have a perception you would like to look at the guest book that Izzy, Dame Morgana, and Umfrey have inspected?
Yes, absolutely.
Given I think you might have been away for
They're going to roll. Yep.
And no, you have no clue either.
Can
so,
I use linguistics?
it's still the
Andrew?
Izzy and Morgana who
Andrew?
does Yes, yeah. Does
But-
linguistics? Linguistics is really what is the comprehension rather than the style of writing.
Well,
But make a roll.
forgery,
Never know what you could get.
It's a fair bit to linguistics.
Oh, it says you're skilled at working with language in its written form.
Yes, you might be able to say that a phrase in both notes, possibly, but the person's only really done their name.
Oh yeah, and as
You-
Michael says, it actually says create and detect forgeries.
Yes, well, there's certainly no forgery or anything, but between the notes, the two notes that you have collected, and the signing of the guest book, it would still seem that in terms of the two females at that period, it is more likely to be the bard,
Can I do a sense motive on the book?
which is Lady Lucrezia. But the writing of Earl Yandar
You're going to read
Macondas.
between the lines, me.
Well done, Ash. Well done. You know, it could be others as well. It certainly wouldn't be conclusive. So, yes, but you can certainly spend the night at the Baron's place. He has set up something for you. Let me know if you're going to set watches or whether you're all going to stay in the one room. You can have separate rooms if you like.
I think Knightchester and Morgana need a room.
Mm-hmm.
Fair
So
enough.
the
So,
rest of us.
Far away from the others.
I'm going to issue. Well, you guys can make your. Well, it depends. Are you setting a watch or not for the guys that are in the room, excluding Chester and Dame Morgana?
From will just automatically take a first watch.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take watch. It's fine.
All right, well, From followed by Izzy.
Seems prudent.
Just in case we stumbled on something unknowingly.
Hmm.
From Fortitude save.
Oh shit! Sorry. Yep. My bad. Boom. There you go, Chief.
Okay. Well, Izzy, perception check. So you stir at a certain point, Izzy, and you notice From is asleep in his armour. You know, probably murmuring, "Burn, burn them."
All right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
How long do I think it would have been until my shift should have started? Do I have any idea?
You think you're about halfway through your shift.
All right. I get up and I lightly tap From on the back as to not frighten him and say, From, you fallen asleep.
Oh no.
I'll stay up for the rest of the time with you and do my shift. Keep each other company.
Sounds good. Yes. That. Thank you, young lady.
Excellent. Who's watching after you guys?
I can.
Okay, Nella, roll. Fortitude.
Because it's my fault.
Yep, you're awake, and then I'm guessing Umfrey will do last watch, and I'm guessing Chester and Morgana will only need to make perception rolls if something happens.
Oh yeah.
Kill them.
Giving this baby brain damage.
So in the morning, Humphrey, you find you've fallen asleep in your armour, much like From, and that Dogbio sort of wakes you up just a bit before everyone else wakes up by gently licking your face.
Well, get up and quickly make it look like I didn't just fall asleep.
Fair enough. So when Izzy talks about people falling asleep, you'll say, gee, I don't know how that would happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
What the hell are you doing, From? And the Baron greets you for breakfast, and again he says, "Look, I'm really hoping, Humphrey, that we can see you in more tourneys. I think, as I said, I think that's what holds this empire together, our traditions, and we must continue with them and follow the law of the land. We can't have these terrorists conducting things."
Absolutely. I'm very concerned that you've received a threatening letter a week ago, though. Is there anything we can do to help with your security, or any idea why they might target you?
Well, I'm a noble. This Night Swan hates us. They're a nut.
Any specific reason they might come for you first, though?
Oh, I stand up for things. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know whether others have also received notes in the past. I mean, clearly, as we all saw, and I've just been reminded that the Count himself was in danger until one of your party performed a heroic act by calling out the Night Swan's treachery with that poisoned crossbow.
And what about you? When I look at the adjutant guy, can you think of any reason why the Baron might be particularly targeted?
He's, as I would only ever repeat what his lordship has said. The Baron has said is he's a great upholder of tradition, and this terrorist doesn't like tradition.
Can I sense motive on this guy?
Absolutely. You think he is telling the truth?
I'm going to sense him as well.
Hey, what? You don't trust me, son of a...
You think he's right, but just the way you said it, Nella, I thought you're going to do something a bit different, maybe Michael Parnaby-ish to this guy. Sense
Rude him when he's not looking.
Best call. Love it.
But the Baron says, "Let me know. I shall stand by."
Yes.
And he just sort of whispers, "What you got? You got any ideas of what wedding present I should start considering for Nala? There, I don't want to be caught, unprepared."
Male chastity belt might be an option. I believe with his religiousnesses, that might be preferred, but I don't want to talk out of school.
No, puts his fingers to the nose. Right,
yeah,
yes.
just a bit of a wink.
Yep. It's our secret.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I'm on it. As he looks over at you, Nala, with a sort of telling look.
Uh-oh.
After finishing talking with From. Now, what would you guys like to do? The Baron has talked about, again, difficulties in the Tellus barony.
Yep, but I think we need to go and do that. But we also need to just be careful that we don't skip out too quickly on this guy, if that would seem rude.
Yeah,
No.
let's have a look around the estate, because just as a tour, but also to keep an eye out for, one, if we can pick up signs of the Night Swan, and two, if they're doing some shitty thing to people.
That sounds a fabulous idea. So as you head out, you guys can make perception checks.
Oh, look, they're impaling people by the side of the road.
How did we
Oh,
not see that?
How did we not see Akura the Poker?
No, they've been crucified. That's just another Spartacus. So Dame Morgana, and I keep looking and thinking Dogbio, but Dogbio won't really pick up the vibe of the people.
He is a dog of the people.
It's,
It is the vibe.
you get the view again. You know, they look, they're not happy. It looks like they're downtrodden, and you probably just catch that undercurrent about tax being the issue. But you know, there's still a cross between people who are blaming the Baron for this and you would realise they just simply don't understand who makes the decisions. But he still seems to be very respected. I mean, this guy seems more like a father figure to them, and while very keen on law and order, isn't someone who's particularly harsh with anyone. You know, you get the feeling, I mean, you guys have met this, particularly you, Frey, that he's not evil. He may not be good. He's very much about strict sense of honour.
Yeah, I think it's more likely that his assistant is ripping people off, maybe.
Well, you know that he mentioned the tax collector who came here was Guido Ita before he came to you guys, and so that's who was the tax collector here, but that could be different. He doesn't know whether other baronies have it, but the tax is coming from the Count via his tax collectors, not the Baron. But people just see the Baron as the representative of the nobility here.
Yeah, so if it's the Night Swan, why would they target this old guy rather than the Count as the thing?
Well, the Count's been certainly. You know, there was a death like the poisoned bolt was planned for the Count, but Izzy managed to solve that or spot that.
So maybe they've just moved on for the moment to softer targets, and we'll get around to it again. Who knows?
To this befuddled old man.
Something like that.
But you guys can all make a knowledge local roll.
Ooh, you know how much we love knowledge local.
Knowledge.
I'm the man of the people.
Not from here.
Ain't got no local.
Well, Frey and Morgana, and perhaps because you're the nobles, you are reminded. You people have still spoken about this lady Lucrezia Marthane, who seemed to be quite a Lothario, even as a female, for engaging in relationships. And the story that still gets told is she apparently had a tawdry affair with a famous adventuring halfling bard of ill repute, who seemingly was engaged with anything that moved, and that certainly has brought some notoriety to herself because of this halfling bard that she was engaged with apparently at some point.
Well, I mean, obviously, poor judgment and evil. So we've found the knight.
Yeah, well, you know, you've definitely heard stories of this tawdry, this bard, and know that you know, linking up with this bard would certainly be a poor decision.
I mean, that's the same guy who unleashed all those snarflings over the place, wasn't he? The
All those
snail
what?
halfling people.
Yeah, that's that's exactly the one. Yep. I can't even remember what the snail was called. I should. Percy.
Yep.
But you-
train.
But that's it, yeah. You get the impression that this is a populace that generally thinks well of the Baron and his people here, but the tax is biting.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you notice an estate that seems to be well functioning, well ordered. not necessarily everyone sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya sort of stuff, but not whips and other stuff that's driving people in a sort of an evil sense.
Huh.
And through all the conversations, From didn't sort of pick up anything. Like, obviously, he should have and could have done a detect evil, but everything seemed above board, or
Yeah. I mean, there's one guy who talks to you who says, "So you're a worshipper of Angrad,
Mhm.
and does Angrad like to burn things?"
He believes in the purifying flames of those who are unworthy. So,
He goes, "Yeah," and he said, "Oh, this guy says I like to burn things too."
what type of things?
Oh, everything.
Everything. Okay. Children?
Oh no! What kind of weirdo do you think I am?
Horses for courses. Your kink is not my kink.
Standard.
Angrad accepts all, mostly.
But burning in the fray, yeah, burn, yeah.
Mm.
Burn it all down. That's what I say.
Oh,
Not the
Anything-
children, though. No, we must save the children.
yes. Anything in particular that you would be wanting to burn it all down? He says, raising an eyebrow.
Yeah, I'd love to burn the Baron's house down. These
Oh.
wealthy bastards. You're obviously a relatively pious sort of combatant. I mean, we need more people like you. People who, not like that Ponce Sir Humphrey over there prancing around, and the Dame Morgana. These nobles. We got to burn them all down. I think start afresh.
Oh.
That's
Do
what
you-
Angrad would do.
It sounds very similar to this. Have you heard of a lady duck? Or anything like that? Like maybe a swan?
Oh, the Black Swan. She's a hero, a true champion of the people, looking to bring justice to everyone. I've heard her speak probably just about a week ago in a forest here. Spoke to a few of us, and we're on side. We're ready. We're ready, brother.
Interesting. Does she do this often? I'd be interested into learning more about her. Actually, she sounds intriguing.
Sometimes there's a few sort of posters up, Night Swan touring soon.
Okay, to just keep a lookout for those.
I'd keep a lookout in the venue. Look, next time you're back here, I can give you more information.
That would be. I'd very much appreciate that. Thank you. I love to meet people that I can learn from.
My name's Baku, but I'm
Baku.
I'm with the burning. I think we should burn all these bastards. Burn them all.
Thank you for your time, and distinctly walk the fuck over to the party, and regale them with all that I've learned, and just
Huh. Did he seem like he'd have the means to actually burn everything to the ground, or is he just talking shit?
Felt a bit of shit talk, but if there are enough, you know what happens when there's enough? Things will burn. Praise Angrad.
Well, you reached the end of the day, and I presume we've got another night.
Does anyone have any ideas for catching the general in the lake?
Oh, that's been a tough one. Many have tried. In fact, I think someone quite recently had a crack at it, and they say he had the general on the hook for 8 hours, but no one's ever heard of that angler ever again.
Dynamite.
Chester, you must know about catching fish.
Why?
You're just a bit fishy.
He says, "Look, I'm happy to give you guys a permit to fish in there if you want to give it a crack. I mean, I've issued a few. My barony derives a bit of money from Lake Pensaris. It's quite deep, and though the general itself is a fairly large catfish, it might even be 10 foot long. You'd want to watch out."
But do any of you have any ideas for how we could go about catching a fish?
From has no idea, but I do know of ways we could cook it, which would be
Why
limes.
With fire?
don't
With
you
fire.
just fly over the lake and spew spiders at it? I mean,
Well,
I hate to keep
Well-
bringing it up, but it could probably be a decent way to fish.
There's how big's the lake?
It is 12 miles long and 2 miles wide.
wow.
Oh, wait, can't you just electrocute it?
Well, I can do a lightning bolt, but obviously, we'd need to find the fish first.
Well, I can cast water breathing to try and get us underwater and close. It lasts 2 hours per level, so I have one casting, so I could put it on one person.
Who would
Yeah.
be the best out of us to fish for this creature?
If we're talking fishing, I would suggest someone like potentially you or Umfrey, who has big, strong arms, who can put up the fight for 8+ hours.
While
No,
I'm
no.
happy to reel something in, I am not one with nature as much as I would think. I would look to Umfrey because he is.
No. If
good
we're
with
talking
horses.
raw stamina, then Chester's your man.
Day Chester or night Chester?
I fear that
no.
to be true of Nightchester.
Day Chester for the ability to put up with you, and then Night Chester for the obvious.
To put it up in you.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear he's also an
From
excellent
did not
jester.
say that. From did not say that.
He wields his lance with great precision.
With reckless abandon.
Well, we can assume that it's not. I mean, you're getting to later in the day, and you can certainly be. I can put you at the lake if you wish to try and do various methods to either lure the fish near you or jump in and swim.
Suppose I'm
Yes.
just trying to work out, does anyone have any ideas for how to lure the fish?
I think Umfrey
Nearest.
suggested dynamite, but obviously you'd have to lure it and have some
Yes.
dynamite.
Yeah, I don't know if taking a day to go fishing is our best use of our time. To be honest,
No, I sort of wonder, is this something that's going to help cheer up the town? Like, what did it get
Morale
suggested to us for, in the first place?
I mean, we could just tell them Guido ate it. Like he's gone.
Yeah, he's not a very well liked individual in this area.
Like they might celebrate his demise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. There was a note pinned to the fish's corpse. It said, Guido did it.
Guido was
Yeah.
here.
This fish sleeps with the Guidos.
Right, concrete on its flippers.
Well, so you could either do that now, stay the night. One would think you probably, unless you're going to travel at night, you'd need to stay the night at the Baron Akura's estate.
Well, maybe we should stay here just to see if the contacts you to be like all pissy about how we haven't immediately killed them.
Well, yes, that's certainly.
It'd be interesting, yeah.
Yes, all right. Well, so you stay the night. If you want to make your standard from, followed by, well, Izzy for staying awake, then Nala and Humphrey.
Oh, I mean, we could even set a trap just in case they're observing you or us or whatever.
True. From, you are awake. How would you like to set a trap?
Setting a trap?
Yeah, so if they're observing us, that we catch them.
Mm,
Just a big sticky bit of paper out the window.
Yeah.
Or...
Big net that falls on them.
I was thinking you'd set her up like Humphrey's on watch, but has fallen asleep with his armour on. Oh, no, wait, that actually does happen.
Ooh. Oh, okay. I'll be quiet now then. No more thoughts.
From's not. No, I'm not too sure the best way. Either that or just pretend to go to sleep and then have someone sneaky just sneak around.
I think you're right with the sticky paper.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I can be sneaky. Sneak
Well,
around.
did you want me to do double watch then?
Yep. Okay.
All right, I can do a
Roll
double.
away from, I'll presume, Izzy, you're going to wander around the estate.
And on that one,
definitely
he will.
From, you stay awake.
Oh, fantastic!
Izzy, are you trying to be stealthy?
Yes. Yes, I am. Stealthy. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to be that much stealthy.
Look, you can as you're walking around, you can certainly hear some noises. Make a perception check.
It's probably just a wallaby.
You think it sounds familiar. It's like a banging coming from one of the rooms up here.
Nah. Banging of the headboard.
Well,
I'm not interested.
Hard to tell, but I mean, you could always open the door and find out.
Nah, I'm good.
Fair enough.
No.
Well, you sort of you haven't noticed anything else other than that, and obviously the occasional call out for the hour and guards that are on guard duty walking around.
Okay.
Which you realise is different than your estate because you don't have really guards walking around.
No.
But we can, Izzy, let me know if you want to try anything else. Otherwise, we'll go to the next day.
Maybe
No.
we should see about hiring these guards to come and walk around at our estate.
Well, he did offer.
I mean, it's not our fault if the guy gets killed because all his guards left.
No, totally. He said he could offer some guards.
Yeah. So in the morning, the Baron says, "Yes. What are your plans? You're obviously welcome to stay here as long as you like. Though I do wish you'd find out what happened to Baron Tellus. What the hell's gone on down there?"
Yes, so we are certainly going to go and find out what happened to Baron Tellus,
But also,
yes.
you're asking about the general. Yes, that would be a tremendous boost to morale if you were to capture the general.
Yes. Well, have you got any clever ideas about ways to lure the general?
I think we should hold a really good tourney. I think that that might do wonders.
Yeah. It's
I bet
always a
that
bit of a
general-
worry, though.
What's
Do you
the
think
worry?
that do you think people like tourneys? I mean, obviously you like tourneys.
Of course, the people like tourneys. That's what everyone lives for. It's the highlight. Like Sir Lord Humphrey over there. I mean, he's a champion. He knows. He knows.
Oh dear.
It's part of our tradition and our law, and we must follow that. That's why all this, you hear rumours, this night swan, the sedition going on. We can't have that. No matter how bad the count might be or the tax, we just have to suck it up. And you get the feeling he would do that. That this is a no nonsense. Whatever the count says is right.
Yes. Okay, so what do the rest of you think?
Well, he's pretty keen, and we probably should go and see what's going on with Tellus.
Mm,
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Check
probably an
Tellus
idea.
out.
Best to look out for his safety first. We can always come back for some flame grilled fish later.
Yeah. Once all this terrible stuff's out of the way, we'll have the biggest tourney known to man.
A fish in Tawny.
Beams at that. Yes, absolutely. With any luck, even the general himself will get on a horse and battle us out.
Mm,
One can only hope.
mm.
He has another glass of brandy. Says can't go wrong with this stuff. So you would know that you're about a day from your estate, and then probably another day at least onto the Tellus estate.
Oh, before we go, Baron, do you have any guards you could lend us that we could use to patrol our estate?
I'm happy to send, let's say, 10 guards back with you. That will help out, at least in the short term. I recognise you're relatively new and that your estate had been left to rack and roll. So, yes, I will lend you 10 guards.
Well, that would be lovely. Thank you so much.
And they'll, yes, they're to uphold the law.
Do you think we should brief these guards? We don't want them upholding the law like they would at his place.
Yeah, we've got a pretty cash estate.
You mean turn them into flying monkeys? I don't know. What do you mean to teach them? What's the?
Well, we don't want them to. I just worry when he says, they'll do whatever the law says. Like, I sort of wonder about whether that's what the people want or not.
Oh, we're not just here to be popular. We're here to do what's best for everyone and uphold the law. What do you?
Well, no,
what are you implying?
justice is the important thing, isn't it? I mean, a law can't be correct if it's wrong.
So which laws are wrong? I don't understand.
Well, ones that provide injustice for the community.
No,
you
you sound like a college student at the moment. Give me a specific law. Give me a specific law.
Well, I haven't studied all the laws that could possibly affect
this is a
our
witch thing.
estate.
Oh, it's a witch thing. Witch thing.
Yes.
The prima nocta law is, or whatever it was. Not at the beginning of this campaign. Protogena to the law or whatever.
Primogeniture.
I mean,
That's
that one
it.
makes sense. That one makes sense. Let's be honest. Oh wait, but we're working for
That. Yeah.
what's her name?
Yeah, that's right. Dear.
I mean, I
so-
strongly believe in what's her name, Princess Eutropia. Princess Eutropia.
Well, she's able to ascend because they've repealed the law of primogeniture,
Yeah.
I think.
So I mean, it was a good law, but not for our purposes.
Possibly not. You've got your guards. Where would you like to, I mean, in some respects, you would be heading to your estate on the way in any event and presumably spending the night because it would take a day to get to your estate.
Yes. Well,
Do
I
we
think we
pass
just
any?
want to make sure we tell these guards just not to get carried away and do anything crazy.
You tell them, boss bitch.
I wouldn't want Chester to have a word to you.
At the inn or tavern or whatever and see if the bard or the baroness or whatever have stayed recently too.
And whether they've got their signature in the book.
Yeah. And if they've been flying out the window every night or something.
So sorry, what are you doing before you leave?
I think we've clearly spelt it out now, Andrew. If you're not paying attention,
Yeah. No. So we leave, but once we get back to our place, we just check in before we
Okay,
head
so
on
that
to
would be
Tellus's thing.
night time. What are you doing with the 10 guards? Are you giving them any instructions, or just do your guard shit?
well, just we're trying to embark on a regime of not unduly upsetting the local citizenry. So, obviously we want you to do your guard thing, but we would prefer you didn't crack down on anyone too hard without coming and seeing one of us first.
Okay, so they're to stay at the estate and eat and
No.
stay at the estate.
And if you see anyone flying around outside our windows,
I think definitely guarding the windows is an important part of this work.
Guard windows.
Yep.
Okay, they understand.
That's
Guard
good
the
because I don't
windows.
think any of us do.
All right. I will go to a new day. Now, nothing happened overnight of any merit. Where would you like to go? Are you going to head now to the closest part of the Tellus barony, or in fact on the way to the estate is Newtown?
Yes, I've got a note about Newtown as well. Notes, yes. Newtown. I wondered if we'd... Newtown. Oh, people have moved to Newtown from Jambustown, and this needs to be investigated.
That is the case. Yes, Jambus, which was the main town, has fallen into ruins, mainly because the Baron seems to have some issues, and not all, but a lot of the residents have gone to Newtown.
Excellent. Well, we will head through Newtown then.
Okay. Well, you get there close to the end of the day, and you can see, if you thought this was really a town, it is shockingly squalid conditions. These seem to really be virtually canvas tents. So it is obviously something that's almost looks like a temporary accommodation sort of thing. If you thought you've gone from Baron Akira, who seemed to have what would have been a well-run, even though people were having issues with tax, they look like proper houses. People seem to have reasonable jobs. Here, it just seems to be appalling. And you see a female half-elf approach you and say, "Greetings, what are you doing here in Newtown?"
Well, we're trying to find out what has happened with Baron Tellus, and we understand a lot of you have moved here to Newtown from Jambustown, and we feel that that's something that we need to look into.
Well, you can make a diplomacy roll.
Oh, you know, I love diplomacy. Diplomacy.
Jeepers. I mean, it was a reasonable role. You're obviously just not got a lot of benefits. But this lady says, yes, well, I'm Felsher, and look, I'm here to advocate for this town, and I've been trying, but it's hard to get through to the Count, or indeed, I've even been to the Beggarwood trying to advocate, but we have, as you can see, very little here that's of any interest to anyone else. But I was originally an adventurer from Casimir who was passing through here, and I was attacked, and I was nursed back to health by the village, the woman I now call grandmother, and I'm happy to advocate for these people. But the Baron, well, technically we're under the protectorship of his family, but the Baron seemed to long ago disappear from public eye. I don't know what's happened at his estate. But you're welcome to stay the night here. We'll find a canvas tent. It's not great accommodation.
Well, you should feel free to come and move to our part of the countryside where ordinary folks' lives are a lot better.
Well, she says, just don't rely upon our town's tribune. In fact, and then you reckon you do remember his name. This Baronet Caffredus Vort used to be an assistant to Baron Tellus. But I tell you, this is someone who's more interested in being in some fancy opera like you'd see in Casimir itself rather than being out here. But I would say he does try and work hard. He's just completely, it's not the right role for him.
And sorry, what was his name?
Baronet Vort, V-O-R-T. But I don't think it'll help much, but he's around, and she points out, a tent that's sort of slightly larger than the others, indicates where he would be.
So he's a baronet, and he's in a tent here in town.
Well, we abandoned the other one, and he's here, much like myself, trying to help people. He's just not very good at it.
Well, I suppose we should go and see him then.
Well, as you wish.
Well, are you saying that we'll see him?
Well, I just don't know if you... Yes, by all means. I'm here to help these people of this town in practical ways. As I said, the Baronet would probably be more than happy organising a string quartet to play for people here. I just don't think that would be overly effective.
Oh dear. So is this the same Baronet, the Golden Canyon Bridge?
Well, I mean, we do have a bridge, but I don't know whether I'd say that's something that the Baronet did. Gee, I just can't imagine can't imagine the Baronet being competent to do something like that. I mean, I don't know who'd be spreading that rumour, but if they knew the Baronet, they would realise that's not something the Baronet would be capable of.
Well, yes, well, these are the things going around in town, you see.
Not in this town. Not in this town. So did you wish to ask Felsher any more questions, or head on to the Baronet, or go to a resting tent?
Well, no, I think we should go and see the Baronet.
Well, the Baronet greets you and says, "Visitors, we don't get many more visitors." And this seems a very refined individual, and you can see what Felsher would have meant, not really someone of what would seem to be a frontier town. And he says, "So I'm happy to meet any visitors. We really don't have a lot here, though. Not many resources, poor infrastructure." And then proceeds to tell you and say, "We have such a sad tale of the origin of this town. In fact, my dear friend Baron Arag Tellus unfortunately was cursed by a witch and transformed into a violent and paranoid man who preyed upon his own people. And this is why the population of Jambus fled in all directions." He seemed to, with the guys that came with me coming here, hoping that we would have better farmland here. So it has really been such a bad thing that has befallen this barony, and particularly the former members of the town of Jambus.
And
But what
has happened?
Yes?
What's happened to Baron Tellus if he's been cursed
Oh.
by a witch?
Probably still in his estate, wondering what's happened, or dead, or something. I don't know. Why are you interested in the Baron?
Well, we're always interested in seeing how we can help people around the place.
Well, I tell you, if you really want to help, and he gets something out that's wrapped in a sort of an old cloth, and he says, Here is his family amulet. And if anyone is left in Jambus or the Tellus estate, they'll recognise this family crest."
Oh, well, thank you very much. Now, what about, we heard a story back where we were that you destroyed the Golden Canyon Bridge.
Destroyed the bridge? No, that's it was a long time ago, before my time, and anything I know suggests that it was a small earthquake that collapsed it because it was a long neglected bridge. I think all that's left are the watchtowers on either escarpment.
Yeah, well. Okay.
So
then.
no. I mean, do I look like I'd be someone capable? Why would I do it? I'm here to help this people. Knocking bridges down doesn't help.
Well, generally it doesn't, but I mean, who knows?
But please, yes, if you can do anything about the Baron, anything that will restore this barony to where it should be, would be better. But since the Baron, I hope he's not dead. Maybe he still does sit there in his estate, but he clearly, this witch had cursed him.
Seems unusual. Witches generally aren't into that sort of behaviour.
Oh no, they don't. I heard they once turned someone else into a newt.
They got better.
They got better, yes.
Okay, well, thank you. It's been all very interesting. We might...
So you would need to, unless you're going to go through at night, stay the night. Felsher had indicated a tent you could stay in.
Yes, we'll do that, and we'll set watches.
If you would like to roll your watches from... You are awake, Izzy?
Yep.
And you are awake, Nala? As are you, Just, and Humphrey. As is Humphrey. So, the next day, are you planning to head out to the Gold Canyon? Are you going on to the Tellus estate? Would you like to go to Jambus instead?
So, Andrew, would you be able to get one night's rest?
Yes. Oh, yep.
Thank you.
There we go.
Well,
Yes.
maybe we should go and see Baron Teller first, team,
Yeah,
because if
we should
everything's
keep on
come
the mission.
from the problems that he's had being possessed or something, then
Yeah, let's go and
Fair
see
enough.
him first.
Well, as you head over there, you see a dilapidated home, and you would certainly know this is the place. But it definitely doesn't look like this whole estate looks like it's languishing and that no one has looked after it at all. Though it looks like it's virtually a fortress of sturdy stone, but crumbling white plaster and ragged banners. It seems to overlook the valley, and you can see the town that you suspect was Jambus below. The once sturdy wooden doors now lie on the overgrown lawn, half rotted, while a tree has collapsed into the eastern bastion, partially caving in the wall. Let me change it to disable lighting. And flick that to you. There you go. You can see that bit.
Oh, I'm not liking that we're on a map.
You
Oh, look, there's a big blood trail in front of us.
what could go wrong?
think blood trail. I think that's the red carpet.
No, I agree. That looks like blood.
Blood carpet. It's even worse.
Blood carpet. Yeah, fair enough. But you know the doors right at the front are out on the lawn rotting, so they've gone. What would you like to do?
Explore.
Hester.
That so I can scooch up.
Who's with me?
I can't see you. Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are behind me, but who's? Are you going to come stand next to me, Izzy, and so that I'm not
Yeah.
afraid of the dark, and
Yeah.
or getting hit with random spears every now and then?
I'm just getting the map out properly. Okay.
So, Humphrey and Izzy, you can see like it seems like leaves have blown in here. Dead leaves cover most of the floor. And as you advance, you see that even though, I mean, much of the furniture does look like it's held up a bit, but it's still faded and mildewed. The doors straight in front of you would look like massive oaken double doors.
Okay.
And they are chained and barred from this side.
Oh yeah, that's what I like to see.
That
I
sounds good.
sniff the air to see if I can smell rotting flesh.
Roll away. Perception. It's not rotting flesh. It's more the mildew, the rotting leaves. Not rotting flesh. Again, when you look through the arrow holes there in the corridor, you see the same sorts of things. When you get to there, you notice that the door to the east is ajar. The door to the west is not.
Well, all right. Well, what's time?
It's time that we probably, but just at that point, let me get Chester, Nala, and Morgana to make reflex saves.
Oh dear.
No, don't.
Deserved. Whatever it is, deserved.
I guess someone pulled the rug out from underneath us.
Indeed, it's almost like after the heavy people have gone through that the floor could not take any more. And Nala, you have managed to display phenomenal reflex and perhaps have stepped back, while Chester and Morgana have fallen in the pit together.
We have Featherfall.
Do you have Featherfall?
I certainly do have Featherfall. I'm a witch.
That doesn't. So if you've got Featherfall, does that itself?
My understanding is it should, let me just double check, it should do everyone who is basically near me who's falling. Oops, why is that not working?
Yeah. Targets one.
Featherfall.
Oh, no.
One medium creature per level, which can't be more than 20 feet apart.
Fabulous. Okay, so you and Chester float 30 feet down to the bottom
And
of the pit.
And I say, Chester, this spell only works if I'm cuddling you the whole time.
You set this up, Morgana.
I'm glad you left me up here. I say.
You did this on purpose.
Yeah, Nala, do you just cover over the top of this pit?
No.
Leave them be.
No.
But at 10:30, we might leave it there. Thank you all. We'll see most of you next week, except for Ash.
Yep.
We'll miss
Enjoy
you.
your travels, Ash.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you guys later. All right. If you want to,
Indeed.
obviously, if you want to play easy, then whoever. Easy to play. Stab people.
Dogvio's going to play Izzy.
Nice.
No, I'll let someone else be the scout for a change. That'd be nice.
I'll catch you guys later.